the streets up. Yeah, yeah, okay. Wake the streets up. Yeah, yeah, okay.
Hey guys, we're back for another episode of My Unemployed Life. Today I'm going to be talking about something that's very important, boundaries. So everyone knows that boundaries are important, yes, but we don't always follow it. And I think that's because we've never really been given tools to evaluate how to set boundaries, when to set boundaries, what things are important for us to allow to, disrupt our day-to-day activities, and what things are just unacceptable. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to set my own boundary. I'm going to set a timer, and I'm going to stick to it no matter what. I'm going to just stop talking when the alarm goes off. Yeah, right, we all know that that's not true. Yeah, okay, so boundary setting time. Alexa, set a timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes, starting now.
Okay, boundaries. The first thing I want to talk about today is boundary setting with other people. We can talk about boundary setting with yourself next week, which is sometimes harder. But for right now, I want to talk about boundary setting with other people because I think that makes the most sense. It's the thing that comes up every day. So to understand this, I need to explain to you that when I'm thinking about boundaries, I'm thinking of it in terms of myself and in terms of other people. I don't categorize who those other people are. I don't give a higher priority to family members or friends or strangers on the street, not even to my daughter. So there's other people and there's myself. I can talk about that a little bit more about why I do that in another video, but for right now, I want to give you the tools for this evaluation process that I've come up with. To be able to do that, it's really simple. 4 quick questions that you ask yourself. Is this thing that came up, is it vital? Is it urgent? Is it recoverable? And are there alternatives? So now I'm going to break it down step by step, and what little time I have left, we're going to go one by one. Okay, so the first thing we're going to stop, and I know I paused my camera, but I didn't pause the timer, just FYI. First question, vital. Is it vital? Is it going to be a life or death situation? Is there going to be financial ruin? It's something that it has to get done. Maybe we're not talking timing yet. That's when we get to the urgency, but it's something that is just absolutely vital to yourself, to someone else. It has to get done, right? It's question number 1. So in question number 2, is it urgent? Does it have to happen right now? Do you have to drop everything that you're doing, or can it be put off to a later date, even if it's important, a later time even? So, urgent. Next, we're going to talk about whether or not it's recoverable. So if you allow this thing or event or person to come into your space, is it going to have effects that you can easily and reasonably recover from? So maybe you just have to rearrange some things. Maybe it's not going to take that much money. It won't be too much of a financial burden. Is it recoverable? If not, probably don't want to do it. Finally, we have our last question, all their alternatives. We do not have to do everything ourselves. Are there other people we can look to for support? Or are there other creative options that we can think about? Does it have to be you? The answer is usually no, it doesn't. Unless you just really want to do this thing and let it encroach and then spend time complaining about afterwards how you had to do it, which is not a good reason to do something. There are usually other non-burdensome alternatives. So we've got our questions that we ask. Is it vital? Is it urgent? Is it recoverable? And finally, other alternatives. So to think about how this plays out in real life, I don't think I have a lot of time left, but here we go. Say your friend calls you, it's 11 p.m. at night, you have a presentation the next morning, you need to get your sleep, you need one more round of prep, and then you're ready to go, but she calls you, she's stranded, she's upset. Is it vital that you go get her? I mean, I think we can agree that, someone's safety is, pretty vital. I don't play around when it comes to people's personal safety. Number 2, is it urgent? Can it wait until after your presentation tomorrow morning? Probably not. I'm not going to say to my friend, hey, can you just hang out there till about noon tomorrow and then I'll be done with what I have to do. You just go make some friends and, you'll be fine. It's fine. Okay. Is it recoverable? Is it going to be a quick 10-minute drive there and back and then you can get to bed? Maybe you lose a half an hour extra of sleep, maybe an hour. You could probably recover from that. It's probably worth it on balance to go help her get home. If it's gonna take your entire night, if you're gonna have to end up taking care of her, if you're going to get sucked into potentially staying and having a drink and blowing off your presentation, not good, not easily recoverable. And finally, are there other alternatives? Can your partner go pick her up? Are there other friends around that are close that could go get her? Can you call her an Uber or a Lyft? Some other way that she can get home safely. And probably that's what I would do. I would probably call an Uber. Hey, that was actually pretty good timing. Alexa, off. That was basically what I had to say. Wow, boundaries. A+ for me. So you have the tools that I've given you have the questions. I'd really love to hear how that works out for you this week if you try it out. So if something comes up that disrupts your schedule, I want you to ask these 4 questions. Is it vital? Is it urgent? Is it recoverable? Are there alternatives? I'm really curious to see if you guys try it out, how it works for you, any setbacks or hardships that you have with these questions. So let me know in the comments below or send me a message. I'm always excited to hear from you guys. So credits, obviously written and hosted by me, Jessica Taylor. It's edited and produced by John Hernandez. And as always, special thanks to Natalie K. Davis of Socially Natalie K. We will see you next week where we talk about setting boundaries and sticking to boundaries for yourself. Bye guys.